Assalamu alaikum. So, yet again another beautiful evening. It is 2nd of July 2025. So, this quite often, sometimes I make videos, which might be suggesting a bit of a sarcasm of how we perceive things. First of all, you need to know, there is no Jewish conspiracy to rule the world of technology, to hack into the world of technology and take all the good ideas for themselves. Go and start watching, Hollywood movies. There, this the ideas are ample, and you would even analyze, when you would watch Hollywood movies. I've learned a lot through watching Hollywood movies. I mean, maybe in a previous video I would say that even science won't understand the perfect application of tesseract, but this concept has been there for thousands of years. How I would connect it, would be an interesting take then. Uh, but then, coming back to this conspiracy, why would Mark Zuckerberg would welcome anyone to be part of Facebook, or Elon Musk would do the same. That's not how businesses work. But then, yes, they do understand something which is similarly what I would explain as well. Yeah, there is a possibility that, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, more than a century ago, would try to ask subcontinent Indian Muslims subcontinent India, and just like, Ilham Iqbal or Muhammad Ali Jinnah, or uh, you know, um, uh, some other leaders, Yaqub Ali Khan as well, and, the top leadership of the Muslim League then, and Muslim League was made. They tried to convince Muslims of subcontinent India to seek Western education. Try to keep up with what has been contributed to education, to science, technology. Of course. It's interesting that really after World War II, the economics of the world would really start, and the processes would really be created whereby innovation, creativity would be promoted all across the world. So there are certain limitations to science as well, and that's if you follow through how the movies have been made and what kind of script they have been following, you can make a good guess. Many of the movies, or all of them mostly, are made by Christians or Jewish directors, script writers. So the clues are everywhere. So there's no conspiracy to, monopolize knowledge. China has done that. It is United States of America which helped China, take benefit from global value chains. And every multinational, American or European multinational matter would then open up their businesses, subsidiaries in China. And China is now the second largest economy, and East Asia is another story. So, it's in a light context, but then there is competition and trade war with China, and then there is some kind of a political economy of Taiwan and Hong Kong. But maybe we being south from subcontinent India, now we might not really compete with the white man and woman, or the people from the developed citizens of the developed world, but you cannot really match Jackie Chan. Would you be able to Arnold Schwarzenegger, or would you America and Europe? Of course, nobody can beat Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. So anyway, so there's a good thought about it. Now, this Tesseract thing. Imagine, I was so, but then I get disappointed. And what Israel is doing in Palestine is not, it doesn't seem to be following any rule that humanity has created to preserve itself, to bring self-respect to humanity. It's sheer cruelty and sheer injustice being done to Palestinian nation. And why would I guess that? Was Einstein a fluke? And this, yes, let's take it person by person. For example, I am being a Pakistani. I do not represent the Pakistani nation. Well, the good leaders of Pakistan would definitely represent Pakistan, or the men and women of consequence, which could be writers, poets, which could be great actors and actresses, or media people, or journalists, or bureaucrats, or people, these brave leaders, officers of Pakistan Army or Pakistani police. So, or businessmen. I'm just a normal average person, Pakistani, who has started making video blogs or started writing something which interests me. But then I have also seen this video, this clip, this advertisement would run of a video game where you have persons stacked over each other, and this is your new kind of what they show is somebody standing in front of this people who are stacked above each other like this Generation Z war kind of a thing, where they are zombies. My friends, the humans are humans. There's no, equality of humanity is one of the most noble realization. So what that there are outcasts, they are lesser of the human beings, so they are considered as zombies, the scarecrows. Now I will this is preposterous. Now I will give you a story of Tesseract and prove it as well. Tesseract, this is not funny. It's not material. Maybe through controlling at molecular level, at quantum level, we might create certain gaseous material to then influence or identify a tesseract. Tesseract, imagine a box, 4 by 4, 6 by 6, 32 by 32, 100 by 100 box, a tesseract, a complex tesseract as shown in Interstellar movie. But then, yes, of course, it's not made of steel, it's not made of wood, it is not made of plastic, or it is not made of any other fancy material. It is it creates itself in atmosphere, which is where the understanding is on the physics is that there's squares or stretched time and space horizons within the atmosphere, because Earth is a planet, and and that's what the purpose is. And of course, to create a tesseract, to make it available for somebody to use it, of course, physics will suggest that you need a lot of energy. But then, in my video where I discuss tesseract, I would say that our cognition would work naturally as if we are working through a tesseract. What are the dreams? Dreams are clips, sometimes you are sitting and then you find yourself placed somewhere else, and you're talking with someone, and that's what tesseract is. And it could be identified through movies. The dream world, this wonderland, all these ideas of Hollywood would be following the concept of tesseract. This complex physics would be identified through entertainment. Can learning get any better? And similarly, how this digital media, this digital world was formed. It is through understanding of tesseract. I've explained it. So human dreams, cognitively, we naturally tesseract comes through naturally. There is a song, man, gir raha hu, some nice Pakistani young singer would sing that song. So what I'm saying is, tesseract, because what needs to be understood is you don't move horizontally in a tesseract. You move vertically, which would then confirm Einstein's theory of relativity. How can that movement be identified, explained through physics? It's quite a complicated science. Maybe you need singularity, or maybe you need some kind of physics which would create multi-dimensional movements. So where you can identify from one tesseract box, and then you can portal yourself to another far away box with a complete non-linear pattern. But anyway, that's not important. It's just this was just an interesting topic. I'm not an expert in physics or even in tesseract. I just got to understand it in an interesting manner. So, have you seen that movie of Salman Khan with that young girl he would save from Pakistan? There was a scene, and there's so many movies, and there were so many media coverages of this Hindu practice where people would stack on each other and make a cube to then tesseract is a cube to then break up a vessel made of mud. A ghada type of the thing. It's their religious obligation and its practice.